So meal prep is done. I have made some meals for the week with these 2 chickens, and I will be using the rest of it as bone meal because I'm going to reduce it and then dehydrate the bones and mill them for bone meal. And I'll also use it for bone broth. So gotta wash the dishes, washing up the dishes, and preparing for my next thing to do, which will be making jam and bread. Now, as I said, nothing goes to waste. Everything goes to something else. Even the lemon that I clean the chicken with is then put in vinegar in my vinegar jug and used as a cleaning product. I'm going to put more vinegar in there so it's more immersed in the vinegar. This is the dog food that I made for my dog. She's going to love it. And now we're making the bread. Now this recipe makes 2 loaves of bread. You've got about 2.5 teaspoons of sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil with 2 cups of warm water, and you whisk. And that's the recipe. And then the flour part, I use about 4 cups of all-purpose flour and then a cup of bread flour and some salt. So here I'm preparing to make the jam, and I'm just whizzing through the afternoon here because my children are already home. They came home, and I'm just trying to finish these things off before it gets too dark because I don't want to spend all my time in the kitchen tomorrow, although I usually do, right? So I blend up these strawberries. I get about a 2-kilogram bag from Milkrose, and I blend it up frozen, slightly defrosted, and I turn it into jam. This isn't shelf-stable jam. I am not canning here. I am simply making the jam so that I don't have to purchase the jam from the store that is full of preservatives. I get my own jam. So I use the whole bag. I process the entire bag, and I like making this jam. It's very low waste. There isn't any pulp from it or anything. It's just the entire strawberry gets used in the jam. And I just add sugar and lemon juice, and here you're going to see me use some pectin as well because that's what I had. Usually I don't. I usually only use a gelatin or a gelatin, like a clear gelatin to thicken the jam. So here's the proofed yeast. I add my flour and I just mix it together. And like I said, you guys are overthinking bread, but we haven't had bread from the grocery store, not sliced bread, for, I'm going to say, a few months now. And it's nice, like the bread I make 2 loaves. It lasts a week on the counter. This is not like, it's a pretty refined flour, so that's why. But it's still better than buying the bread. Like, I find it has an aftertaste, the bread in the store. But this is what I do. It's still a very sticky dough, but I just sort of mix it together with my hands, and then I'm going to put a ring of olive oil around it and cover it and let it rise some more. I've been doing this type of thing, like trying to be preservative free. I've been trying for a few years. I just haven't been able to lock in until now because the prices in the grocery store are crazy. So I just showed you a clip of my jam. This is the vegetable that I'm going to use for the ramen powder. Yes, we are making ramen powder. I have to try. And then the chicken, it came out a little bit dry, but that's okay. We're going to add sauce to the top of it and live our lives. Yes, we are. So the other chicken will be fine. I'll use it for tacos and other meals throughout the week. And I gotta prepare to separate my bread and put it into the loaf pans. So I'm buttering my loaf pans. These loaf pans get a workout, like a lot of work, because I make lemon loaves in them as well. And this is my little son having his ice cream. And this is me going back to the strawberry jam, getting prepared to put the 2 lemon juices in it. The juice of 2 whole lemons into the jam. And you scrape off the foam because it's just not, it's a byproduct. Do you know what I do with the scraped off foam? I make a fruit roll-up out of it. So everything you're seeing me scrape off the top here, I'm going to put it on my dehydrator with some sugar. It's already got lemon juice in it. And it will be a fruit roll-up. But this is the final sort of mixture. I've added the sugar. You're going to see me add the pectin now, which I just sort of mixed in some warm, like it was warm water and jam solution. Add it to the mixture, and then we cook it down to get it thick. And that doesn't take too long. It only takes a couple of minutes. And then I let this mixture cool a little bit on the counter, and then I add it to my jars because I don't want to add it piping hot if my jars are not hot. Because usually with canning, you would put it into, you'd pour your hot solution into a warm can, into a warm jar, so that it doesn't break the jar. But these are going to go in the freezer after these jams, so they're not shelf stable. But anyway, so we're going to divide the loaves of bread for the to bake. And after I do this, I'm going to make 1 pizza for my son, and then I'm done. So I just roughly divide my loaves. See, I just pinch it off there, and I slap it into the loaf pan a few times. I'm so, like, it's very rustic. So there's no real technique here. Don't copy me or copy me. It's your business.